Suicide Squad. Now, this review is a little bit late. I didn't actually get the chance to watch this film last year, so I've took the time out, watched it last night, and I'm just going to give my little quick synopsis, and well, not synopsis, but a little quick review on what I thought about it. Basically, Suicide Squad is set soon after Batman v Superman and a bit of a weird time before the start of Justice League, I think. Don't quote me on that, I think that is. And basically you're set with a number of different characters, including Will Smith as Deadshot, Harley Quinn being played by Margot Robbie, you got Killer Croc, you got El Diablo, Nick Flag, you got a few different characters from the DC comic book series. And to be honest, basically they're all pitted towards this one person, and honestly, it's a good thing for a comic book series to do. It's a really good thing, and I think that was really one thing that was good about the series. It was good in the essence of that, but I think when it comes to film, it's very, very different because you're kind of limited by that time frame. So a few things I liked about the film. I liked the cast. Captain Boomerang in the film, played by Jai Courtney. Honestly, I did not expect Jai Courtney to do as well as he did in this film, because I saw him in films like Terminator Genesis, I saw him in the Divergent series, I think I saw him in Die Hard, one of the Die Hard films, and he wasn't good in the three of those films that I watched. He was not good at all. I didn't like some of the stuff that he did, and some of the things that it kind of annoyed me. But in this film, he seemed like a really good character. He pulls off a really good Australian accent, that's all I'm going to say. But some of the stuff he had me laughing in this film. And some of the stuff he was like, yeah, I like it. It was different. It was really different. I liked Will Smith as Deadshot, but I would only say I liked him a lot less than Captain Boomerang. The reason why this is basically, I might get flack for this, I don't know, but I personally didn't like. Well, I liked Deadshot as it was and how he was played, but I don't think they went to the full potential of what Deadshot is. And I'm not being funny or anything, but Deadshot is not Will Smith, if that makes sense. Will Smith in this film basically just played himself. In this film, it's just himself. That is it. He's not anything different, which it pissed me off a little bit, but I also kind of liked it in a way. I don't know. I didn't know how to. I was a bit 50-50 on it. I don't know. I'd like to know your opinion on that one, actually. Let me know in the comments down below, actually. I liked Killer Croc in the film. Personally, it was good. I liked the representation that they did him, but he could have been. I think they could have gone into his backstory a little bit more, just as a character, because I've seen some of the Killer Croc stories and read up on some of the comic books that he's been in, and a lot of it does seem to give him a bit of a backstory, which I think they could have put in this film. The one thing I was a little bit mad about with his character was the fact that they could have done him a little bit better. In terms of representation, they could have had him a lot more bigger and a hell of a lot more bulkier than what he is in this. I might put I'm going to put an image on this video just to see for you guys to know what I'm getting at. You might recognise it from a previous Batman game, but that's the kind of thing I was kind of hoping for. That's not just because I've played the Batman Arkham games. That is basically because I think that is what I would like to see him as in that particular kind of film. This big, bulking, basically fucking crocodile human. You know what I mean? Just basically just that. That is what I'd like to have seen, because he would have been a bit more powerful than some of the other team, some of the members of the team. He would have been a little bit more powerful, but he would have also had a bit more of a menacing look to him. But he's one of them that if it had been done that way, I think Deadshot's character would have been like, bloody hell, I'm glad you're on our team. You know what I mean? It would have been like that. But no. Also, let me guys know what you think about that as well. Now, El Diablo's character. Now, his character was really good for the entire cast to try and work around, so to speak. He's basically, the guy does a lot of damage in the film, and he's one of these that he stood out for me as a character more than Boomerang. Boomerang and El Diablo are kind of equal when they stand out, so to speak. They stood out a lot more than what Deadshot did and what Killer Croc did, to be honest, I personally think. But did quite a good job as El Diablo, and I liked the way that they kind of went about with him and actually made him have a bit of a backstory. Not too much, but enough to give us the idea that, well, this guy's damaged, and I kind of like damaged characters like that. But that's just, you know what I mean, that's just me personally. Now the part of the crowning jewel of this film is Margot Robbie playing as Harley Quinn. Now, I personally, I liked it. It was a good representation of the character, but part of me was feeling that the people that watched this film, who walked away from it, or the people that haven't even watched the film, I think they got the idea that this character, or the actress that did this, did a really good job on Harley Quinn. She did a good job, but I don't think it warrants the amount of popularity that she's got from the role that she got. I don't think she did that great of a job. She did the character well. She did it really well, but I don't think she did as well as what people are making out to be. I kind of got the idea that a lot of people were trying to say that. Well, I got the idea that Harley Quinn was like stand out, boom, watch this film because of her in it. Now, personally, I didn't think it was worth watching just for her. I went in it wanting to watch a bit of Joker, but I also wanted to watch a bit of everything and see how it actually goes. So I don't know. Now, basically, what I didn't like was the representation of the new Joker played by Jared Leto. Now, Jared Leto has done some brilliant characters before. He's done some really good characters. He's a really good method actor. He is absolutely nuts when it comes to his acting persona and his range. But personally, a lot of people either like him, don't like him, or a bit on the fence about it. I personally, for this film as it was, I did not like Joker in this film. I just did not like him. He came across as a bit of... Well, I say he came across as a bit of anything. He wasn't even in the film long enough for me to even think about it. Take in mind, I watched the non-director's cut, so it could be more in that. I don't know. I hadn't even watched it, so I watched the original film. And personally, for the time that he had in the film, it wasn't. I don't think it was really worth putting the Joker in the first place. I understood why they put the Joker in, because if you're gonna have Harley Quinn in there, you've got to have Joker in there. That's just a staple point altogether, which I think fine. But I'm not being funny. When you've got the Joker in there, when you've got the Harley, you think Joker's up here somewhere for the amount of screen time, and Harley Quinn would be somewhere around here, wouldn't you? In this case, it's kind of like the other way around. The whole thing's been switched. She's in it more than he is, and when he's in it, personally, I didn't bloody like him. He just wasn't. I said I didn't like him. I don't, like I was saying before, he didn't have enough screen time to be in the film, so I'll give him benefit of doubt. But the thing is, I fucking touch wood, I hope he's in the new Batman film that was being directed by Ben Affleck. I hope he is in the new Batman film. But I want them to do a hell of a lot more of a better job with him, because I tell you something, they've got that time now to actually. They've got the time to literally look at his character and go, right, we could do this, we could do this, we can make that better, this better, take that out, make this better, make this better. They could do all sorts of stuff with him. Now, for now, I'm not going to say that I hated him, but I'm going to leave it for now until the new Batman film comes out. I don't know, we'll have to just see what happens with that one. And there's one thing that I did not like, this is one thing I didn't like. The whole film was basically, you had 2, maybe 3 chunks of backstory. The 3 chunks of backstory are coming from Deadshot, Margot Robbie, and El Diablo. That's it. That's all you've got across this plethora of characters. You've got hardly any kind of backstory to any of them. Now, I can understand this with the length of the film. I think the length of the film that I watched was something like an hour and 40-something minutes, maybe 2 hours at the very most. I can understand if they couldn't fit everything in and fit a story in there at the same time. That's fair enough, because these characters have just come in off the street and they've not had any kind of film to kind of get us to know who the hell they are. So I think they kind of did what they could with the film itself, but the characters, I'm not being funny. If I can understand if they're not going to be in future films. So if Killer Croc's not going to do a feature film, like a sequel to his film, or if or if there's a few, you know what I mean, if Nick Flood's not going to get his own film, you know what I mean, so I kind of understood why they didn't do every single bit of backstory, but that's something that I would have liked to have seen in the film, just for sake of another half an hour. I think I would have liked to have seen a bit more of a better backstory from him, and I kind of understand these characters a little bit more. Killer Croc would have liked to have seen a bit of backstory with. To me, he stands out as a character, but in this film he just wasn't. He didn't stand out at all. But we just have to see what happens. I don't know. And ultimately, I did not like this. This was something that really did my head in when I watched this. It was the fact that this film it was basing itself on all these different characters being a part of the film as a whole, right? You'd think every single one of them would actually have something to do with the main overarching part of the film. Like, you're gonna probably get this a bit. You're probably gonna have this a lot from other different people. You're probably gonna get mad at me. Probably gonna get mad at me for this. But back in the Avengers, you had all these different characters, and they all had like some equal part to the film that makes them stand out. In this film, there's nothing really like that in this film at all. Ultimately, this film is for Margot Robbie and Will Smith. That's it. You've got these umpteen different characters, like this big stack of characters, and you're basically putting 1 and 2, and you're basically putting those as your main characters. That's it. That's the only bit that they're going to get more screen time than any other bloody person in here. I'm not being funny. If you're going to do a film that's got a group of characters from a set of comic books themselves, and have them in one great big film, have them all equal in terms of screen time, but also have them as a bit of a fucking staple point, for Christ's sakes. I'm going to keep ranting on about this, so I'm going to shut the hell up about it. Overall, it's a good film, but it's definitely not my favourite film of 2016. This film is going to be one of those that I'm going to have to watch the director's cut to then think about it in a different way. But overall, this film's not my favourite film of 2016. To be quite honest, my favourite film of 2016 in terms of comic book going to a film, I think Civil War stood out majorly for me personally. You probably hear everyone say that, but me personally, I think it stood out a bit more. Like the top 2 films I liked that were comic book adapted to films wasn't just Civil War, but it was also Batman v Superman. I actually liked that film, and I was kind of surprised that this film kind of took a bit of a step down for DC films, so I was kind of surprised with that. But for my hopes for the next for the next year or two, I hope that I would like to see a lot more of Joker in his next kind of reveal, so to speak. And overall, a good Harley Quinn. She was a good Harley Quinn, but to be honest, she wasn't the best. But then again, she was the first. She was the first character that did this. So kudos to you, Margot Robbie. You actually did something that I didn't think would be done in general. I didn't think it'd actually be done in general. So for what you've done a good job. I can't, you know what I mean? I'll tip my hat to you, love. You've done a really good job. The rest of you have done a good job. I just hope that if we ever get to see you all again, you actually have some kind of equal part in the next film. That's if there is. But I just want you all to have an equal part. And in this film, I don't think the directors and that have done you justice. So I don't know. I'd give it a 7.5. 7.5 out of 10. This film. So leave that to what you will. If you want to discuss this in the comments, don't put any spoilers on. I'm not going to make a spoiler-filled review or anything like that on this film, but because it's been ages since this film came out. So yeah, tell what you think about in the comments. If it's spoiler related, try and keep it vague, very vague, for people that might not have watched it. Because just remember, I didn't watch this film until February, and it came out on DVD back in December. So you know what I mean. Just try and keep it a bit vague for people that have not watched it. And yeah, hope you enjoy. I hope you guys enjoyed the film. Me personally, not my favourite. So yeah, hit the subscribe button if you like these videos, and also hit the alarm button if you want to find out when I'm actually uploading these videos. Put your comments in the description box below. Like this video, and I'll get to see you all next time in the next video. And how many times have I said video in that one bloody paragraph? Ain't got a fucking clue. So see you guys later. Cheers.